You know, I've been making chicken videos for almost 3.5 years now, and I don't think I've ever made a video where I talked negatively about chickens. And if you don't know me, there are some things I love talking negatives about. While finding negatives for raising chickens is somewhat hard, I'm going to be presenting you with a few of them that I found today from personal experience and from other people's experiences. So, before we begin, be sure to click the like and subscribe because this is taking me a little while to make, and let's get into it. If you're just getting into raising chickens, then you might not know how picky they are, but if you raise chickens for probably any more than like 30 minutes, you probably know how really picky chickens are. Like, all you gotta do is just put them in a yard and see which ones they prefer. They have such specific preferences that it's not even funny. Like I could give them a slightly different brand of mealworms, and they'd be like, nah, I don't like this. But you can give them the right brand, the most expensive one. It's always the most expensive one, man. I think those chickens might be onto something. They love expensive things. So, unfortunately, for some people, they might not be able to spend all that money on their chickens, but for all your chickens that are humble and actually love you, then it doesn't really matter what mealworms you feed them. So you need to tell them that. But if you have to like spend $120 on the most pristine, luxurious mealworms ever made, then there might be an issue there because your chickens love things that are good quality. Other than that, they'll eat the random bugs on the ground, and they're also pretty picky about where they are at as well. So that's why I personally have an automatic chicken coop door and a mobile chicken coop. So that way, if I need to, I can move them to wherever I want to. Alright, so for just a little bit, I want you to close your eyes, or you don't have to, or you can just look away, or look at the editing I'm doing right now, bro. This is taking forever. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a farmer who wakes up early every day at like before 6 a.m. or around 6 a.m. They go to, but before they wake up, it's summertime, and they hear the obnoxious rooster making noise. Now, I want you to open your eyes. Yep, that's me. I'm just saying, bro. They're super annoying. They won't ever shut up. And it's not just roosters, it's hens. They make a ton of noise. Like, have you ever heard a chicken before? It doesn't sound that loud, but when they're saying, oh, I laid an egg, they make these egg clucking sounds like, oh, I just laid an egg, guys. Take a look, I just laid an egg. And they won't ever shut up. And that's one thing. They will not, but their normal clucking noises are calm, and you don't usually hear them from your living room with soundproof padding on it. But when you hear a rooster crowing, who tends to be really loud, especially in the morning when you just wake up, and you have that feeling when you just wake up and like you're a little bit drowsy still, and you like have like that weird like everything that makes noise kind of like hurts my ears a bit. Yeah, that's the worst time, because like when I'm outside waiting for the bus sometimes, especially in the winter, my rooster thinks, even though it's like 5:50 a.m. that it's time to be in crowing, and it's pitch black outside too, so he never shuts up. My hens, when they lay eggs, fortunately it's a little bit less annoying because they get used to it, but you never really get used to a rooster's crowing, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Now let's be real, losing someone or something is definitely one of the worst feelings out there, and I'm going to be completely real with you. Loss can be really hard, especially with your first chicken. Your first chicken will probably die unexpectedly, and I'm going to set the stage for what could possibly end up happening. So you're just chilling, right? And you hear chickens making noise, and you go out there and you find a dead body. Most likely because of a hawk. Maybe if you're on time a fox or bobcat, they might get too scared because of little wimps. But most of the time they're not little wimps, unfortunately. However, the chickens, on their first attack, they don't know what to do, so they're all scared. So it might look like 3/4 of your flock was just wiped out by something like a hawk. Well, guess what? If you have 12 chickens, there's no way 9 of those was wiped out by one red-tailed hawk that weighs only like a fifth more than a chicken. It can't even lift up a chicken off the ground, so how is it able to kill 9 of them? They're probably just scattered. It is a really hard thing to do, and having to do this consistently can definitely add up to potential mental torture. So this one actually does have a solution. Keep your chickens close by, monitor them at all costs to make sure they're not getting into anything that could possibly end up with their demise. You don't want any of that happening to you. I don't want any of that happening to you for your sake, and I don't want that happening to me for my sake as well. That's why we keep our chickens nice and safe, and that's why we count them frequently and give them tons of attention, so we can also deter that. And also, you can go get yourself a nice old JBL speaker and blast the loudest music you've ever heard. That's what I love doing too. Now yes, I've said it before and I'll say it again, baby chickens are cute, but they're really, really, really annoying. Let me set the picture for you. So your chickens, they make a lot of noise when they're baby chickens. Roosters try to make their first crow at around 4 to 6 weeks old, and that's all cool and all, but whenever it all comes down to it, cleaning them daily is really annoying. You clean them way more often than you will with adult chickens. Adult chickens, you can just leave the coop dirty for like maybe about a week and it won't be that dirty, but I recommend cleaning it once every 6 to 10 days, just saying. But baby chickens, you have to clean that once every 6 to 10 hours because of all the mess they're making. Sometimes up to 2 times a day, but ducks are even worse. You sometimes have to clean their brooder like 3 times a day. Fortunately, most of the time it's just like an every other day occurrence, so you have to clean it more than once, but I say clean it about once every other day. And baby chickens, they can sometimes be really, really annoying, so trust me, they can really add up over time. They can cause some issues. They can escape. Once they get older, they want a little bit of their own freedom, so then you have to start building a chicken coop or looking for one that doesn't, like, burn through your bank account, doesn't do all this other stuff, and then you have to find a way to move them outside carefully, and then you have to set up their yard, and yeah, it's a long process, but if you know what you're doing, it's not really that hard. Alright, so I'm sorry to interrupt your viewing session. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, I'd recommend clicking on the playlist, which has like 40 other videos similar to this one. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. We're trying to reach 4K subs in 4K hours by July. Let's see if we can do it. Anyways, let's go.